Pretty good.
Great.
How are we just feeling?
A great football team, excited to go compete. Playing against hard-fought SEC teams like this, that's why you come to Alabama. So I'm very excited to go out and perform this weekend.
You talked to Ellis at all this week?
No, not this week. I made sure I spoke to him the week before last just to let him know it was all love. But this week I'm not talking to him. Like, that's a little brother of mine. I love him to death, but he's not wearing crimson, so you know the rest.
What do you think of their defense as a whole when you watch them?
Very well-coached defense, a lot of playmakers, stout up front. Linebackers play very fast down here, and their secondary is elite. So I'm very excited to see how we stack up against them. Very excited to go compete against them. And like I just mentioned, this is why you come to the SEC. This is why you come to Bama for games like these.
How much of their personnel on the defensive front is the same from last year?
A good amount. I think only one person left, so having that familiarity with them from the SEC championship to now, that's really helped our preparation. I'm able to give some guys who weren't here last year, like Parker and some of whoever's going to be playing right tackle this week, some insight on what to expect.
What does that insight kind of look like? What have you kind of told both your fellow offensive linemen and some of the other guys that are experiencing this game for the first time?
Some keys, some stuff that they give away, some stuff that they do really well, things that we can take advantage of. So,
How much do you guys look forward to these big games on campus like this?
man, we look forward to the next game. It just so happens to be that Georgia is the next game, and it's the one we're looking forward to the most. We can't make one game more important than the other.
In that same breath, how important is it to kind of block out all the distractions that come with it?
It's very important to block out all the distractions. You know, if it's not going on within this building, it don't matter. That's what I tell my group. That's what I tell everybody on the team, because you're going to hear a lot of stuff that's boosting your head up or people down on you. You can't let that affect you at all.
When you're facing a team that hasn't a lot of touchdown yet, what kind of motivation does that provide you as an offense?
It motivates us a lot, and like as a competitor, like everybody on this offense is very competitive. Everybody on this team is very competitive. Like that's one thing that I appreciate about everybody here, like our competitive nature. Like there were some days in fall camp where we really got after it, and we had to remind ourselves like, hey, we're teammates at the end of the day. But I'd much rather have that than be like, all right, guys, you got to pick it up. So our competitive nature is going to drive us this game.
Last year, two-part question maybe.
Okay.
Last year in the championship game, a lot of people say the difference was that Alabama's offensive line had its best game. Two, getting everybody back now, full offensive line like you'd like to have. What do those two things matter in this game?
Well, you can't really put too much stock in the last year's game because, as you said, that was last year. But some things that we can take away is that the game is won in the trenches, and that was very evident there. Just being in the SEC, it's like that every week. Whichever offensive and defensive line plays better, that's the team that's going to win. So we just have to make sure as an offensive line, we're on our P's and Q's. We do what we have to do. We lead the charge for the team because we have to set the tone for everyone else.
And back this now, having everybody
back is crucial. We were able to build some continuity these past couple of weeks, but we're still working in some guys. It's just great to have people that you could just plug and play because you never know what can happen in a game of football.
Playing off of that answer, you know, you never know what can happen. Are you still getting a few reps at tackle in practice, or is it all guard for you right now?
I've been getting tackle reps since the spring, so I make sure I get both because the best ability is availability. So nothing's really changing. I've been taking tackle reps.
How good was it to have Caden back a couple weeks ago?
It was great to have Caden back. You know, we're very close. Like that's a brother of mine. I love Caden, so to be able to play with him again, that was great, and just very excited to see how he grows and how we grow as a left side in the offensive line as a whole.
Getting that group back, how big was the bye week to kind of clean up some things and knock some rust off whenever you have everybody playing kind of for the first time together?
The bye week was huge for us just because it allowed us to have some time to go back and watch the first three games and see if we made mistakes over and over again through those first three games and clean those up and really fine-tune them as we go into this game. So the bye week was crucial, and I feel like everybody on the team took advantage of it.
Did it feel a little weird having one this early in the season? It doesn't feel like a grind, does it?
It did feel a little weird having a bye week this early in the season, but I definitely took advantage of the time. I was able to build a new Lego set. I was very excited about that. I started building Lego sets during the summer because we had a lot more time, so I haven't been able to build one in a while. So I built the Infinity Gauntlet one. It took me about 6 hours, but I did it straight through watching some college football, and it was a great time. So definitely took advantage of my bye week.
What's your favorite Lego set that you built?
This last one, the Infinity Gauntlet one. It's pretty cool. I was going for a realism theme at first, so I got the flower pot one, then I got the bonsai tree, but now I like the cartoon stuff, so I think I'm going to keep going with that. I'll probably get the Spider-Man head next.
Okay.
They're pretty expensive though.
You ever accidentally stepped on one with bare foot that don't feel good?
Not yet. I always make sure all the extra pieces are in the box far away, so I don't step on them. So
when you did get to go back and kind of watch some film with the other offensive linemen, what kind of things were standing out, either good or bad, that you wanted to correct and work on?
Some good things is how well we finished. Like, everybody is very competitive about getting knockdowns. Like, all the knockdowns are charted on our wall, so everybody's competing to have the most knockdowns, the most pancakes every week. And that, as an offensive line, like, you could teach technique, you teach technique, you teach assignment, but you can't teach that drive and that mindset of, like, I'm gonna drive you to the ground, I'm gonna pancake you, I'm gonna put you on your back every single play. You can't teach that. So that's something that I noticed that's really great about us.
Who else on the team is into Lego building?
Olas is really big into it. He showed me some of his sets. He's built a lot more than me, so I might ask him which one I should build next.
You said 6 hours. Is that all one sitting?
That's all I'm saying. I didn't get up.
Really?
I did not get up.
Jeez.
I would be building, and then I'll look at my phone and be like, oh my gosh, 2 hours have passed, and that happened 3 times. So
Breaks or anything?
nothing. I was locked in.
What games did you have on the TV?
I was watching the Cal and Florida State game first because I'm very close with Terrence Ferguson, so I wanted to watch him. Good to be able to watch him. That's a close friend of mine. And then I also watched the Tennessee and Oklahoma game as well. And then the special part about that, I was on the phone with my dad, and my dad and I, when I was back in Connecticut, we would always watch college football games together. So to be able to kind of watch it at the same time over the phone, that was great. We making some of the comments. It was really a great time. It was a great Saturday for me.
I know you guys said you haven't talked to Ellis this week, but just what's that relationship like before going into this game?
Man, like I said, I'm his big brother. Like, I give him advice. I try to show him the ropes through everything that he's going through. So we both went to prep schools, then we went to IMG, and now we're at 2 of the top schools in the country. So just going through it before him, I tell him some places, some things that helped me, some things that I could have done better. So I'm just always in his ear trying to help him, and I just want to see him be great because it's not often that you see 2 kids from New Haven, Connecticut be on this big of a stage.
That last bit, just how cool is it to share that stage with him? And be where you're from?
It's so cool because, like I said, not that many kids come out of New Haven. There's been a few from when I was growing up, like Tariq Black is from New Haven, Connecticut. You got Will Levis, he's not from New Haven, but he went to high school in Connecticut. He's from Connecticut, so there's a few Connecticut guys out there, and there's a lot there. So I feel like the better that we do, the more we're putting Connecticut on the map.
There's obviously no easing into the SEC schedule this year, starting out with number 2 Georgia. Kind of what's the challenge of that, but also maybe what's the benefit of kind of figuring out right away kind of what you'll have?
Going into SEC play is always fun, and like you said, there's no easing into it with this game. But a common theme